I'm sure most, if not all of you watching this video remember this highlight.
Wow. Michigan at the 41. What a hit! Ball's free! On the ground! South Carolina deserves to have it, and they do!
This legendary Jadeveon Clowney hit happened on January 1st, 2013, more than 9 years ago. Since then, the South Carolina Gamecocks had gone 45-54, which is the third worst record in the SEC in that time span. They've also only had a single season in that 9-year span where they won over 7 games. Gone are the days of Connor Shaw, Marcus Lattimore, Clowney, and a legendary coach Steve Spurrier leading the Gamecocks to 10+ win seasons. But with those days gone, a new era has arrived. Sure, SC might not be all the way up there with the likes of Alabama and Georgia, but with all the hype around the program and their clear upward trajectory, I could easily see the Gamecocks being one of those teams to beat in the SEC, maybe even the third best team in the coming future. My name is Kevin Redfield from the Dropout Sports, and let's get right into it. Before talking about the team and some of its new players, I want to start with the man at the head of it all, Coach Shane Beamer. He was in his first year as a head coach last year, ever, and I want to emphasize the word ever since he started in arguably the toughest conference in the nation with a team that went 2-8 the previous year. Anyways, in that first year, he went 7-6 with a constantly rotating quarterback room, a defense that gave up 36 points per game, and the 17th toughest schedule in the nation. He got South Carolina to their first bowl game since 2018 and their first bowl win since 2017. And of course, on top of all of that, he got to celebrate that bowl win in the best way possible, getting a tub of mayo dunked on his head. You may have also heard of Coach Beamer through social media, as he's sort of been popping off lately. In the month of December, Shane Beamer had the most Twitter interactions out of any college football coach, meaning he had the most likes and retweets out of any coach at the time. In a month where big-name coaches are being hired and fired, for a second-year coach to be at the top of that list has to mean something, right? Well, you can see it in two ways. Some could say that it's all just because of the transfer portal news and his viral bowl celebration, but I like to see it as more than that. As one of the main faces of the program, Beamer is drawing more eyes to South Carolina football, and in the process is building a fan base and a brand to associate it with. They've got big social media pages and college football personalities championing the Gamecocks and their meteoric rise day after day. And as we've seen with programs like Jackson State, social media isn't just a gimmick, but it's a representation of a program's trajectory. Twitter and Instagram can be proof enough of awareness, but I think you can see the impact of that awareness most in Beamer's recruiting. First and foremost, Spencer Rattler. We gotta talk about this guy. In reuniting with Beamer, who was an assistant head coach at Oklahoma that was vital in Rattler's decision, the former 5-star quarterback sent shockwaves around the college football nation by picking the Gamecocks over other Power 5 programs. After an up-and-down season, he could have picked any college, Georgia, Ole Miss, Michigan, anywhere. But no, he chose the new USC. And it wasn't just him. Former 4-star tight end Austin Stogner followed him to Columbia, and former NC State D-end Terrell Dawkins chose to transfer in as well. There have been red flags in the past with Rattler, such as his inconsistency and a potential attitude problem. But don't get things twisted. He left Oklahoma as a 15-2 starter, and what he did in his second freshman year can't be discredited, since, it already happened. Along with these 3 players, key weapons Josh Fan and Jaheim Bell are also returning, which could make for one of the most lethal offenses in the nation, not just the SEC, but the entire nation. Last thing I want to bring up as an indication of where South Carolina football is at is their current recruiting class. After a rough class last year due to the coaching change, Beamer and the Gamecocks are picking up right where they left off with the 22nd ranked recruiting class currently. They don't have the highest rated players, but with 21 current signees, they have one of the biggest classes in the nation. I think this speaks volumes on the coaching staff's outreach and the program's trajectory. This class has so much volume that could potentially blossom into something amazing. And as if it were straight out of a poem, they currently have a better class than their in-state rival, Clemson, according to 24/7 Sports. While Clemson is struggling to keep their coaching staff together and is looking as bad as they ever have in the last 10 years, South Carolina is gaining recruits, amassing a following on social media, and is on the up and up. And look, just to make things clear, I'm not bashing on any SEC teams that aren't South Carolina. Actually, I think there are a lot of very good programs that are getting better and better with time. We've seen Kentucky go from a team with a negative record to a 10-win team. Arkansas deserves a lot more attention than they're getting right now. And if there's any one team that I, as a college football program, would be scared to death to play in the next 4 years, it's Texas A&M. I'm not going to sit here and definitively say that South Carolina will be the third best SEC team for many years to come. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they're a program on the up and up, and I don't think there are a lot of programs that are on the high train that they're on right now. At the end of the day, all of these facts and recruits don't mean much without results, and 7-6 isn't much to write home about in the SEC. But I, and hopefully you too, choose to look at all of these aspects of the Gamecocks program in a positive light. I personally love making these college football videos because I get to craft these positive narratives about up-and-coming programs. We can all address the potential negatives at another time, but I hope we can all agree that the University of South Carolina has something special and unique brewing in Columbia. Thank y'all for watching.
Just a bunch of dropouts.